Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's really the digital backbone of modern healthcare. We're talking about health information exchange platforms, or HIEs. But we're not just doing a simple overview. No, we're mapping out a blueprint specifically for 2026, a time when data has to be faster, smarter, and way more secure than ever. So let's jump right in. So first, let's talk about the problem we're trying to solve. Think about your own medical history. It doesn't live in one neat little file, right? Of course not. It's scattered all over the place. A lab result is over here, a specialist's note is over there, and that x-ray you had last year, it's somewhere else entirely. And this isn't just messy, it can actually lead to serious medical errors and big delays in getting care. This is the exact reason HIEs exist. So that leads us to the big question. If all this super important data is stuck on all these separate little islands, how in the world do we build the bridge to connect them all? And not just connect them, but do it safely and reliably? Well, the answer is a really well-designed health information exchange platform. To get there, we're going to follow this 5-step blueprint. We'll start with setting the foundation, then we'll build the core engine, make sure it's secure, connect it out to the world, and finally talk about launching it and keeping it running. First things first, setting that foundation. And honestly, this is probably the most critical phase of the whole project. The decisions you make right here, before anyone writes a single line of code, are going to determine whether the whole thing succeeds or fails. So this foundation really boils down to two main things. First, you have to know who you need to connect with, and second, you have to agree on the language you're all going to speak. If you can get these two things right, everything else starts to fall into place. Your strategy kicks off with a really basic question. Who's in your network? I mean, are you just trying to connect a couple of hospitals and their electronic health records? Or are you thinking bigger? Are you trying to pull in labs, pharmacies, imaging centers, maybe even insurance pairs? You've got to know that because every single one you add to the list cranks up the complexity. Defining this scope from day one is absolutely crucial. Okay, now for that common language I mentioned. For, decades now, the industry has leaned on a standard called HL7. You can think of it as the kind of rigid but very reliable grammar of healthcare data. It's got a very specific structure for messages like patient admissions or lab orders. But, it can be a bit clunky, and it really wasn't built for the super flexible, real-time world of modern apps. Which brings us to FHIR. And if you're building for 2026, you have got to embrace FHIR. It is a total game changer. It uses modern web APIs, the same kind of tech that lets your weather app talk to a satellite. This makes sharing data incredibly fast, flexible, and just a whole lot easier for developers to use. For any HIE being built today, supporting FHIR isn't just a nice-to-have, it's literally the foundation for the future.
Okay, with our strategy and our standards locked in, we can move on to part 2, building the core engine. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty and actually design the technical heart of the platform.
Think of this as a look inside the engine room. You've got all this data from different sources coming in through these ingestion pipelines. The central engine then grabs it, processes it, and standardizes it. And finally, it pulls everything together into one unified patient record that can be accessed securely through APIs. Every single step here has to be airtight. Now, this might be the single hardest part of building an HIE. Seriously, how do you know for sure that John Smith from a lab report is the exact same person as Jonathan A. Smith from a hospital record? Getting this wrong is just not an option. So how do you solve that puzzle? The answer is something called a master patient index, or an MPI. This thing becomes your single source of truth for who a patient is. It uses these really sophisticated matching algorithms that look at way more than just a name. They analyze names, birthdays, addresses, all sorts of things to figure out the probability that two records belong to the same person. It's incredibly accurate. All right, on to section 3. You can have the most brilliant engine in the world, but if people can't trust it or if it's slow as molasses, it's basically useless. So now we're talking about the non-negotiables, trust and speed. Protecting patient data is everything. That means you've got to encrypt all the data, whether it's moving across the network or just sitting on a server. It means using role-based access, so a pharmacist can't just go and look at a psychiatrist's notes. And you absolutely have to have audit trails that track every single person who touches the data, plus really clear controls for patient consent. And speed is every bit as important as security. Imagine a doctor in the ER waiting for a critical lab result, and all they see is a loading screen. That's not just annoying, it could be dangerous.
The HIE platform has to be built for super high availability and incredibly low latency, delivering information pretty much instantly. If it isn't fast, clinicians won't use it. Simple as that.
So now for part 4, connecting the network. This is where the rubber really meets the road. It's all about linking our shiny new platform to all those real-world systems out there. And, just as important, making sure doctors and nurses can actually use the information. Let me tell you, integration is painstaking work. It is not plug and play. For every single system you connect, you have to build secure APIs. You have to carefully map all the data fields, making sure blood pressure in one system actually connects to BP in another, and then you test and you test and you test some more to make sure that data is flowing perfectly. And you can't forget about the end user, the busy doctor or nurse who's supposed to use this thing. If they have to click through 10 different screens just to find one lab result, guess what? They're not going to use it. The goal has to be a simple, intuitive dashboard that tells a clear, unified story about the patient at a single glance. Without that, you'll never get adoption. And finally, we've made it to our last section, launching and beyond. Getting the system up and running is a huge milestone, for sure, but it's not the end of the road. It's really just the beginning of a long-term commitment.
From the very first day of planning, you have to be thinking about scalability, because if your HIE is successful, it's going to grow. Then, right before you flip the switch, you have to validate absolutely everything: accuracy, security, performance. And then, once you go live, the work just keeps on going with constant monitoring, user support, and regular updates.
So let's just zoom out for a second and bring it all together. An HIE isn't just another piece of software. It's really the foundational layer. It's like the operating system for an entire data-driven healthcare ecosystem. It's the thing that makes everything else possible, from better care coordination to the AI-powered diagnostics that are right around the corner. And that really brings us to the final thought here. Building a modern HIE is tough, it's complex, but it's an absolutely essential move you have to make. It's basically the price of admission to the future of connected medicine. So the only question left is the one you see on the screen. Is your health system ready? Thanks so much for joining me.